Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar, and with me is Saira Mujtaba with the Midday News. The headlines. Home Minister Amit Shah confers President's Colours Award to Assam Police at a special ceremony in Guwahati. Says militancy has almost come to an end in Assam and dialogue is on for permanent peace. India made significant contributions in bringing the nations together towards the global goal of halting and reversing land degradation despite COVID-19 pandemic, says Environment and Climate Change Minister Bhupendra Yadav. Prime Minister pays homage to all those who were part of 1857, the first war of independence. Prime Minister Narendra Modi extends greetings to South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol as he commences his term in office. The India-Oman Joint Commission meeting to be held in New Delhi tomorrow. Severe cyclonic storm Asani likely to weaken gradually into a cyclonic storm during next 24 hours. Flight services cancelled as heavy rainfall predicted in several coastal regions. Santur maestro Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma passes away in Mumbai. In Sri Lanka, protesters burned down several homes belonging to the ruling Rajapakshas and MPs. In Uber Cup badminton tournament, the Indian women's team registers its win, defeating USA to qualify for the knockout round at Bangkok in Thailand. And in IPL cricket, Lucknow Super Giants to face Gujarat Titans at Maharashtra Cricket Association Stadium in Pune this evening. And now the news in detail. Union Home Minister Amit Shah today said militancy has almost come to an end in Assam and dialogue is on with the remaining organizations for establishment of permanent peace in the state. He was speaking after presenting the President's Colour Award to Assam Police at a special ceremony at Guwahati.
असम पुलिस ने यूनिफाइड कमांड के तहत ऑपरेशन बजरंग और भारतीय सेना का ऑपरेशन राइनो के अंदर भी एक सहकर्मी की भूमिका निभाकर भारतीय सेना का मजबूत तरीके से सहायता करने का काम किया है। इसके अलावा हथियारों की तस्करी, ड्रग तस्करी, मानव तस्करी, ये सभी के खिलाफ निरंतर 7 दशक तक आसाम पुलिस ने विजयी लड़ाई लड़ी है। इसके लिए उनके डीजीपी से लेकर सबसे कम उम्र वाले कांस्टेबल तक सबको आज मैं देश के गृह मंत्री के नाते बहुत बहुत बधाई देना चाहता हूं।
Mr. Shah said that almost all militant organizations have joined the mainstream of the society and the government has rehabilitated all of them. Insurgency and bloodshed has come to an end and peace has returned after decades. The Armed Forces Special Power Act is a very contentious issue in Assam and the entire Northeast and the Union government has removed this act from the 23 districts of Assam recently due to normalcy in militant activities, said the Union Home Minister. Assam Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma congratulated the State Police Force for this special achievement. The Chief Minister asked the police to work for the weaker sections of the society and appreciated their efforts for the decline of militancy in the state. He informed that 8 militant groups have joined the mainstream and another 13 groups are in dialogue with the government. The President's Colours, a special flag also known as Nishan, is the highest honour to be given to any military or police unit in recognition of exceptional service rendered to the nation, both in peace and war. The Union Home Minister will attend an event in the afternoon in Guwahati to mark the first anniversary of the Himanta Biswa Sarma-led BJP government. Later in the day, Mr. Shah will also lay the foundation stones of various developmental works in Guwahati. Environment, Forest and Climate Change Minister Bhupendra Yadav has said, despite COVID pandemic, India, as the President of United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, UNCCD COP14, made significant contributions in bringing the nations together towards the global goal of halting and reversing land degradation. Mr. Yadav is leading an Indian delegation at the 15th session of the Conference of the Parties COP15 of the UNCCD at Abidjan in Côte d'Ivoire. Mr. Yadav will address the high-level segment, including a Heads of State summit. India had hosted the 14th session of Conference of Parties of United Nations Convention to combat desertification from 2nd to 13th September 2019 at New Delhi and is the current president of the same.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has extended greetings to South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol as he commenced his term in office today. Mr. Modi said he is looking forward to meeting him soon and working together to further strengthen and enrich the ties between the two countries. The India-Oman Joint Commission meeting will be held in New Delhi tomorrow. The meeting will be co-chaired by Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal and Minister of Commerce, Industry and Investment Promotion of the Sultanate of Oman, Qais bin Mohammed Al Yusuf. A high-level multi-sectoral delegation led by Qais bin Mohammed Al Yusuf is visiting India from today. The 48-member delegation includes senior officials and business representatives from diverse areas spanning health, mining, tourism, telecommunication, energy, shipping and real estate.
The Union government has decided to conduct a fact-finding inquiry into the Indigo incident by a 3-member team under the Directorate General of Civil Aviation. It was alleged that Indigo refused to allow a child with special needs to board a flight at Ranchi Airport with his family. In a tweet, the Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia said that, keeping the sensitive nature of the incident in mind, the government has decided to conduct an inquiry. He said the team will visit Ranchi and Hyderabad, where the families stay, and collect appropriate evidence within 1 week from today. The minister said there is zero tolerance towards such a behavior. Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia today stressed the need for innovation to make India a drone hub by 2030. Speaking at a function in Niti Aayog, he said the industry should work to create intellectual properties in the drone sector. Mr. Scindia said, along with hardware, the industry needs to work on software aspect to make country's drone industry a robust one. He added that the government's Drone Shakti initiative will commercialize the use of drones in different industries. He expressed confidence that Kisan Drones initiative will play a critical role in crop assessment, spraying of pesticides and insecticides, as well as digitization of land records.
The Union government has accorded highest priority to road safety and set the target to reduce 50% road accident deaths by 2024. Addressing an event, Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari stressed on sensitization of stakeholders for collectively addressing issues regarding road safety. He said that road safety is a very serious issue and there should be zero tolerance for road accidents and action should be taken immediately on black spots. Chief of Army Staff General Manoj Pandey today called on President Ramnath Kovind at Rashtrapati Bhavan. This was his first meeting with Mr. Kovind after he assumed charge as the new Army Chief. Indian Air Force today organized a seminar on indigenization requirements of IAF, opportunities for MSMEs in New Delhi. Addressing the gathering on the occasion, Air Marshal Vibhas Pandey, who is Air Officer in Charge Maintenance, said that the Indian Air Force is committed to realizing the Atmanirbhar Bharat dream. He said the Indian Air Force has identified certain areas, including aircraft tires and batteries, in which it wants to be totally self-reliant. He said the force will not import any of these equipments from abroad. He said the Air Force is also ready to harness any kind of technology with the aim to succeed in the mission of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
So for me, the definition of indigenization is much wider. It is a multifaceted approach that needs to be adopted, and it starts from repair to refurbishment, to reclamation, granting life extension depending on the performance of the equipment, taking on its upgradation, partial upgradation to make sure that its longevity is increased in the service. And finally, if all this fails, then substitute this component. And substitution could also be either one-to-one basis or an improved equipment, obviously keeping the 3 F's, the form, factor and functionality aspect in mind.
More than 190 crore 50 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Health Ministry said more than 13 lakh 90,000 doses were administered in the last 24 hours. During the same period, 2,288 new cases were reported in the country. India's active caseload currently stands at 19,637 and it is at 0.05%. The recovery rate is currently at 98.74%. Union Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia has said that over 3 crore youngsters between 12 to 14 years of age group have received the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine. He congratulated all those children who got vaccinated. In a tweet, Dr. Mandavia said that children are making significant contribution to the vaccination drive and are fighting the pandemic with full vigor.
India Meteorological Department IMD has said that severe cyclonic storm Asani is likely to weaken gradually into a cyclonic storm during the next 24 hours. IMD said Asani is unlikely to make landfall over the coast of Andhra Pradesh and Odisha and move parallel to the eastern coast. However, the Met Office has warned of heavy rainfall in coastal districts of Andhra Pradesh, Odisha and West Bengal during the next 2 days. We have a report on this from our Odisha correspondent.
Asani is also likely to trigger rough wind along and up the Odisha coast at a speed of around 40 to 50 kilometers per hour, gusting up to 60 kilometers per hour beginning today. It will also cause light to moderate rains in some areas of the coastal districts like Ganjam, Gajapati and Puri from today. Heavy to very heavy spells are predicted to lash isolated places over the coastal districts like Puri, Jagatsinghpur, Bhadrak, Kendrapada and Baleshwar during the next couple of days. Accordingly, the state administration has positioned rescue teams in the areas likely to be last to train, along with advisories to more than half the districts to be ready with their local plans to address waterlogging. Meanwhile, even as all the 11 fishermen stranded in the mid-sea just up the Odisha coast last evening have safely been airlifted by the Indian Coast Guard, the state administration has been asking the fishermen not to venture into the sea for the next few days. Girish Chandra Das, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
Heavy rainfall is also predicted in the coastal districts of East Midnapur, South and North Chobbish Parganas in West Bengal till Thursday. There is a possibility of heavy to very heavy rainfall at some places in North Coastal Andhra Pradesh today and tomorrow. Our correspondent has filed this report.
Asani cyclone is very likely to move nearly northwestwards by today midnight and reach west central Bay of Bengal off North Andhra Pradesh coast and adjoining Odisha coast. Thereafter, it is very likely to recurve northeastwards and move towards northwest Bay of Bengal off North Andhra Pradesh and Odisha coast. It is likely to weaken gradually during next 24 hours as per IMD Director Amravati S. Stella. Be prepared alert for Tuesday and Wednesday has been issued. Heavy rains are likely in isolated places in East Godavari, Visakhapatnam, Vijayawada and Srikakulam districts. The Coast Guard personnel of Visakhapatnam have been kept on standby with relief materials to meet any contingency. Several flight services have been cancelled in Visakhapatnam. Control rooms have been commenced to tackle the situation in the districts. Heavy rainfall occurred in several pockets in East Godavari, Eluru, Visakhapatnam and Vijayanagar districts. The district administrations are on high alert due to Asani cyclone. Dr. G. Kondalrao, AIR News, Vijayawada.
Under the influence of the super cyclone Asani, Chennai and its suburbs received light, incessant rain for several hours since earlier this morning. The Meteorological Department officials have said light to moderate rain is expected today and tomorrow at a few places in Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. In the last 24 hours, Kodanadu in the Nilgiris district received maximum of 7 centimeters rainfall. Flight services have been hampered in Chennai airport today, following the forecast of heavy rain for several coastal regions. 2 of the operators have announced that 10 of their flight services to and from cities including Visakhapatnam and Hyderabad stand cancelled for the day. Kerala is likely to witness widespread isolated heavy rain accompanied by lightning and thunderstorm for the next 3 days under the influence of Asani.
Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann has said that nobody will be allowed to disturb the peaceful atmosphere of the state. He was speaking in Chandigarh today after a review meeting following a grenade attack at Punjab Police Intelligence Headquarters in Sector 77 of Mohali last night. The Chief Minister called Director General of Police V.K. Bhavda, who apprised him of the details of investigation. The DGP today visited the intelligence headquarters and took stock of the situation. He said that it is suspected that the TNT explosive material was used by a projectile. He said its impact was on wall and no loss of life and property occurred.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Home Minister Amit Shah confers President Colours Award to Assam Police at a special ceremony in Guwahati. Says militancy has almost come to an end in Assam and dialogue is on for permanent peace. India made significant contributions in bringing the nations together towards the global goal of halting and reversing land degradation despite COVID-19 pandemic, says Environment and Climate Change Minister Bhupender Yadav. Prime Minister pays homage to all those who were part of 1857 First War of Independence. Prime Minister Narendra Modi extends greetings to South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol as he commenced his term in office. The India-Oman Joint Commission meeting to be held in New Delhi tomorrow. Severe cyclonic storm Asani likely to weaken gradually into a cyclonic storm during the next 24 hours. Flight services cancelled as heavy rainfall predicted in several coastal regions. Santur Maestro Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma passes away in Mumbai. In Sri Lanka, protesters burned down several homes belonging to the ruling Rajapaksas and MPs. In Uber Cup badminton tournament, the Indian women's team registers its win defeating USA to qualify for the knockout round at Bangkok in Thailand. And in IPL cricket, Lucknow Super Giants to face Gujarat Titans at Maharashtra Cricket Association Stadium in Pune this evening. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
क्या आप कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम की तैयारी कर रहे हैं? ऑल इंडिया रेडियो के प्रोग्राम अभ्यास में हमारे विशेषज्ञ आपके सवालों का देंगे जवाब। शनिवार रात 9:30 बजे FM गोल्ड पर। इस बार का विषय है इंडियन हिस्ट्री। प्रश्न भेजने की अंतिम तारीख है 11 मई। आप इससे जुड़े सवाल व्हाट्सएप करें 9289094044 पर या सवाल ईमेल भी कर सकते हैं abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास। Welcome back to the Midday News on All India Radio. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, Panchayati Raj institutions or PRIs are performing a seminal role in implementing various development programs in Kulgam district, says District Magistrate Bilal Moinuddin Bhatt. These institutions are also playing an important part in ensuring social inclusion in the government programs and improving the quality of life in rural areas of this South Kashmir district. In an exclusive interview to AIR News, Mr. Bhatt said, with an active support of PRI representatives as well as general populace, the administration has been able to retrieve encroached land in nearly 180 panchayats and turn it into play fields.
The uniqueness of Kulgam is that we have completed around 178 play fields among 178 panchayats. So we can proudly say that we have achieved one panchayat, one play field. We were able to bring a community movement into it. PRIs ने help किया, जन भागीदारी का काम किया, and rural development has achieved this way. Like DK Marg, पहाड़ों में हमने बनाई, और PRIs का जो रोल रहा है in construction play fields was great.
Pulitzer Prize 2022 was announced yesterday in the fields of journalism, book, drama and accompaniment. According to the Pulitzer Prize's website, slain photojournalist Danish Siddiqui is among 4 Indians honored with the prestigious Pulitzer Prize 2022 in the feature photography category. Siddiqui and his colleagues Adnan Abidi, Sanna Irshad Mattu and Amit Dave from a news agency won the award.
The most colourful and spectacular of all temple festivals in Kerala, Trishur Puram, is being held today. Processions of deities from smaller temples in and around Trishur will converge at the Vadakumnathan temple this morning, where Lord Shiva is the presiding deity. And now let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News, Birth of a Nation.
India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
In today's episode, we commemorate the 165th anniversary of the First War of Indian Independence that was sparked on the 10th of May, 1857. The War of Independence was fed by resentments, born of diverse perceptions, including the disturbing of the social fabric, harsh land taxes, and crude treatment of Indian kings, queens, and princes. The immediate spark, however, was the use of greased cartridges. The grease used on these cartridges was rumored to include fat derived from beef and pork.
In May 1857, 85 sepoys of the 3rd Cavalry Regiment, on their refusal to use the greased cartridges, were court-martialed and sentenced to long terms of imprisonment. On the 10th of May, the sepoys shot their officers, released their fellow sepoys, and headed towards Delhi. After the outbreak of the mutiny in Meerut, the sepoys quickly reached Delhi, whose 81-year-old Mughal ruler, Bahadur Shah Zafar, was declared the Emperor of Hindustan. Soon, the rebels had captured large tracts of the northwestern provinces and Awadh.
कंपनी बहादुर बनकर हमसे कह रही कि हम बागी हैं। हम अबू जफर सराजुद्दीन मोहम्मद बहादुर शाह ताजदार हिंद बागी हैं। हमने बगावत की। आज जैसे तुम बगावत कर रहे हो, तारीख उसे हमारी जंग आजादी का पहला कदम कहेगी। और ये मत भूलो, आजादी की लड़ाई एक बार शुरू हो जाती है तो मुकम्मल आजादी हासिल किए बिना खत्म नहीं होती। तुम अपने जुल्मों के इंतहा लाओ, हम अपनी कुर्बानियों का हौसला लाते रहेंगे। इसलिए अबू जफर की शिकस्त हिंदुस्तान की शिकस्त मत समझ लेना।
The loss of Delhi was a serious loss of prestige to the English. Very soon, the uprising spread throughout northern and central India. Bahadur Shah Zafar in Delhi, Begum Hazrat Mahal in Lucknow, Nana Sahib in Kanpur, Lakshmi Bai and Tantia Tope in Jhansi and Gwalior, Khan Bahadur Khan in Bareilly, Maulvi Liaquat Ali in Prayagraj and Varanasi, and Kunwar Singh in Bihar were the main leaders of the First War of Independence.
The East India Company's response came rapidly as well. With help from reinforcements, Delhi was retaken by the end of September. However, it then took the British around 1 year to completely suppress the uprising, which was contained only with the independence activists' defeat in Gwalior on the 20th of June, 1858.
The uprising of the First War of Independence shook the foundation of the British East India Company and disclosed their inefficiency in handling the Indian administration. The major impact was the introduction of the Government of India Act 1858, which abolished the rule of the British East India Company and marked the beginning of the British Raj that bestowed powers in the hands of the British government to rule India directly through representatives.
However, the First War of Independence in 1857 ignited the spark and provided the momentum that continued to serve as the main source of inspiration for the people to vigorously fight the British to free their motherland.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today recalled the Indian freedom fighters, saying on this day in the year 1857, the country's valorous freedom fighters initiated the First War of Independence, and from there began the journey of the liberation of the motherland from British rule. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today paid homage to all those who were a part of 1857, the First War of Independence, for their outstanding courage. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said, on this day in 1857 began the historic First War of Independence, which ignited a spirit of patriotism among the citizens and contributed to the weakening of colonial rule.
Legendary Santur maestro and renowned musician Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma passed away in Mumbai this morning. He was 84. Born on 13th January 1938 in Jammu and Kashmir, Shiv Kumar started learning vocals and tabla at the age of 5. He started learning santur at the age of 13. He was suffering from kidney-related issues since the past 6 months and was on dialysis. He passed away due to a cardiac arrest. Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma was awarded the Sangeet Natak Akademi Award in 1986, the Padma Shri in 1991 and the Padma Vibhushan in 2001. Scheduled to give a Jugalbandi performance in Bhopal live concert on the 15th of this month, along with flute legend Hari Prasad Chaurasya under Mahima Samaroh. The duo of Shiv Hari have given soulful music to films like Silsila, Lamhe and Chandni, among some international news. In Sri Lanka, angry mobs have burned down several homes belonging to the ruling Rajapakshas and MPs. The violence capped a day of unrest that saw Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa quit amid mass protests at his government's handling of the economic crisis. But it failed to assuage demonstrators who attempted to storm his official residence while he was holed up inside. Elsewhere in Colombo, tensions remained high. Men armed with sticks and rods had established roadblocks on the routes leading to and from the airport, while police and security forces were nowhere to be seen. An island-wide curfew has been extended till Wednesday morning as authorities seek to quell the violence.
Today is World Lupus Day. The day is observed every year to raise awareness about lupus, which is an autoimmune disease that can cause damage to any part of the body. An autoimmune disease is one in which the immune system is unable to recognize the difference between healthy cells in the human body and the foreign cells it fights to remove. In Uber Cup badminton tournament, the Indian women's team has registered its win defeating USA 4-1 in Group D fixtures to qualify for the knockout round at Bangkok in Thailand. In the singles, Indian players registered their wins in straight sets. PV Sindhu beat Jenny Gai 21-10, 21-11, while Akarshi Kashyap defeated Esther Shi 21-18, 21-11, and Asmita Chaliha thrashed Natali Shi 21-18, 21-13. In the doubles, Tanisha Crasto and Theresa Jolly defeated Francesca Corbett and Alison Lee 21-19, 21-11 in straight sets. However, India's Simran Singh and Ritika Thakur lost to Lauren Lam and Kori Tang Lee in 3 games, 12-21, 21-17 and 13-21.
In the 12th Hockey India Senior Women National Championship in Bhopal, Odisha and Himachal Pradesh win their respective matches today. Hockey Association of Odisha thrashed Kerala Hockey 11-0, while Hockey Himachal defeated Telangana Hockey 8-0 in Pool H matches. In IPL cricket, Lucknow Super Giants will take on Gujarat Titans today at the Maharashtra Cricket Association Stadium in Pune at 7:30 p.m.
And now let us take a look at the weather update for today. National capital Delhi is having mainly clear sky. Mumbai is expected to have generally cloudy sky. Chennai is likely to have a gently cloudy sky with moderate rain. Kolkata is likely to have gently cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Home Minister Amit Shah confers President's Colours Award to Assam Police at a special ceremony in Guwahati. Says militancy has almost come to an end in Assam and dialogue is on for permanent peace. India made significant contributions in bringing the nations together towards the global goal of halting and reversing land degradation despite COVID-19 pandemic, says Environment and Climate Change Minister Bhupendra Yadav. Prime Minister pays homage to all those who were a part of 1857, the first war of independence. Prime Minister Narendra Modi extends greetings to South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol as he commences his term in office. The India-Oman Joint Commission meeting to be held in New Delhi tomorrow. Severe cyclonic storm Asani likely to weaken gradually into a cyclonic storm during next 24 hours. Flight services cancelled as heavy rainfall predicted in several coastal regions. Santur Maestro Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma passes away in Mumbai. In Sri Lanka, protesters burned down several homes belonging to the ruling Rajapakshas and MPs. In Uber Cup badminton tournament, the Indian women's team registers its win, defeating USA to qualify for the knockout round at Bangkok in Thailand. And in IPL cricket, Lucknow Super Giants to face Gujarat Titans in Pune this evening. And with that, we end the midday news.